Mula sa kabisera ng Inglaterra, sa puso ng Britanya, London, UK. London, UK. Ito ang Channel Philippines Network, Pinoy Radio UK. Pinoy Radio UK. Sumasahing papawid, 24 oras. 24 oras. Buong linggo. Sa www.pinoyradiouk.com. Ang mga pinakapaborito mga awitin, mga pinakaabangang programa, at mga sariwang balita at impormasyon mula at para sa mga kababayang Pilipino sa UK at sa buong mundo. Pinoy Radio UK. Pinoy Radio UK.
Okay, happy Tuesday ho mga kaibigan. Welcome mo sa ating program. It's another week na naman, no? Another week. Well, although kahapon nagsimula, week parang simula na rin yun dahil ngayon ho yung first day ng ating mga programang kasama natin yung mga mahuhusay, no? Yung mga matatalinong kababayan natin who made a mark dito sa United Kingdom. Today is, kaya sabi ko happy Tuesday, is Legal Advice Corner. Get Legal Advice Corner. Ito, pinag-uusapan natin ang mga batas-batas dito sa United Kingdom. Kaya dyan na ho tayo, ready na ho kayo. No? Tell your friends about it. Sama-sama na ho tayong manood sa gabing ito para nang sa ganun ay may matutunan tayong bago each week. Or for tonight, meron ho tayong matutunan. Hindi ko na ho siguro patatagalin. No? But first of all muna, patingin ko muna yung ating mga kababayan sa 4 na sulok ng United Kingdom, 4 na sulok ng Europa, 4 na sulok ng mundo. Saan mang bahagi ng mundo kayo, naroon tuloy kayo, kabayan. Ayan, pakilala ko na yung ating pinakamamahal. No? Well, brains and beauty ho to. Batang-bata, siya ho ang managing partner po ng Deo Volante Solicitors, batang-batang Pilipinang, abogada dito ho sa United Kingdom. At very adventurous, no? Mga bagay-bagay na kamangha-mangha in a way because hindi lahat ng mga tao katulad niya na gumagawa ng haba-habang lakad sa sa Portugal, Spain sa Santiago de Compostela, umakyat ho ng bundok ng Mont Blanc, no? Umikot-ikot doon, no? Switzerland, Switzerland, Italy, France, Germany, alamin natin, no? Basta't kasi ang Switzerland ho kasi 3 bansa ho nakapaligid yan. May side na Italy, may side na France, yung Geneva, Italy, yung Como, malapit do sa Como, ano bang part yun? And then Zurich, which is German, kaya nakapalibot ho yan kasi landlocked. Anyway, ayan, yung mga ganun ho, no? Nag-martial arts, no? At umaakit ng bundok. Mga bagay-bagay na medyo challenging ho sa karamihan ho sa atin at hindi natin basta-basta nagagawa. But anyway, syempre it's with pride and pleasure na ating pinakikilala yung ating palagiang kasama, abogado ng bayan to dahil lahat ho ng mga maraming aspeto ho ng batas ang nasa saklaw niya at ng kanyang grupo, no? So mga kaibigan, ang ating pinakamamahal na managing partner ng Deo Volante Solicitors, walang iba kundi si Attorney DANNA Quinto. Happy Tuesday, Attorney.
Happy Tuesday, Mr. LARAGAN. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Tuloy po kayo. Dito na naman tayo sa ating Dagdag Kaalaman Day. Happy Tuesday, Social Remote Bubble Day. And as Mr. LARAGAN said, madami din tayong pinag-uusapan hobbies natin. Thank you sa nakakatabang pusong introduction. Pero hindi lang ako maraming hobby. Si Mr. LARAGAN din, napaka-inspiring ng kanyang health protocol na tinatawag, o health journey. Kaya madami din kaming sumunod sa'yo, Mr. Laragan. Ay, ayan din, pati si Snoopy. Yan po ay
Snooki,
ang aming
nagpapapansin, attorney, nagpapapansin.
special to
Oo, hindi.
special to
Oo, sabi niya, come. Nakita mo siya, nasa
Ayan.
bed, nasa kanyang sofa siya, di ba? Nasa sofa nakahiga.
Kanina.
Oh, ito, halika, papapansin ka. Halika, come.
Halika.
Papapansin niya ito, attorney. Dahil ano biglang, attorney, ayan, ayan, there's a ninang, malapit na mag 1 year old.
Malapit na. August, September.
Ang birthday ni ano pangalan to, ni Edgar Duay. Edgar
Duay.
Birthday ni Edgar. Snooki, ka-birthday mo nga ba? Tatanungin natin si Edgar kung anong date. Kung nanonood ka, Edgar, no? Sabihin mo yung date of birth mo. Kapareho sila ng date of birth ni Snooki at as far as I know. Kita mo, gusto yata humalik sa akin, attorney,
Very sweet talaga.
Oo, grabe. Nagpunta na naman ng beach to ngayon, nung last weekend. Nanguha na naman kami inaantok na. O sige.
Inaantok. Natulog na.
Si mami mo. Sige, babay ka na kay ninang mo, si Ninang Danna. Ninang Dance. Ninang babay. Ay, hello.
Sasagot pa eh. Sasagot pa yung inaano. Matapang.
Go to mommy. Papuntayin natin. Go to mommy, Snooki.
Punta ka doon.
Pupunta doon sa kanyang sofa. Go to mommy. Manonood.
Manonood. Mag-quiz pa yan mamaya eh.
Grabe talaga, oo. Ayan, Sunny, believe nga kasi siya sa Ninang Danna, dahil very inspiring, di ba? Hindi basta-bastang yung ginagawa mo, attorney. Ako, di ko pa naranasan marathon. Hindi ko pa naranasan umakyat ng bundok. Hindi ko pa naranasan yung mga nagagawa mo. Hindi ko pa yung very long walk na katulad ng ginawa mo sa Santiago de Compostela. Ano pangalan nun? Yung Santiago de Compostela na walk?
Camino de Santiago.
Camino de Santiago, oo. Hindi ko kaya yun. Although minapanood akong palabas na sa TV, sa I think Prime Video, and they were talking about the guy na nakalakad siya sa Santiago de Compostela, Camino de Santiago. Ayan, wala na yata siya. Okay na. Ayan, nga. Bago tayo nag-on air, may pinag-uusapan tayo about camping, wild camping. Kasi ngayon, usong-uso siyempre camping, no?
Yes.
Kaya lang, parang with this weather, I don't know, dyan ba sa'yo malamig? 13 degrees, 14 degrees, 12 degrees?
16
Dyan sa umaga, pagising mo.
Malamig.
Malamig,
Mas malamig sa umaga. Parang hindi na nga summer. Parang hindi na ganun init ngayon. And anong tawag sa atin? Ito yung makulimlim. Hindi po bright ngayon.
Yung bright sunny day, no? Bright sunny, pagising mo, halimbawa, maaraw, di ba? Yung minsan makulimlim, tama ka. Hinahanap ko nga rin yung araw. Sabi ko, ba't summertime? Ba't nawawala? Asan na siya?
Yeah.
Kasi
Camping, yun ang pinag-uusapan namin kanina.
Hindi, kasi nga dahil summertime nga din. Kaya hinahanap natin kasi parang it's a great, parang hindi ka mag-enjoy pagka umuulan, pagka nagka-camping ka.
Mahirap talaga.
Pero you were telling me, attorney, nag-wild camping ka.
Nag-wild camping na ako. Kailan ba yun?
Kwento mo nga.
Yeah. Sa Lake District, so I was volunteering with National Trust, but this was a sort of a private volunteering group, mga friends, good friends of mine, and we decided may project kami na we would, so parang mag-wild camping kami, pero for a cause, na may gagawin din kami doon para naman may purpose sa bundok. So we were supposed to repair and install, maliit lang naman na footpath sa gitna ng Lake District. I think it was Grassmere or Far Eastdale. Sa Far Eastdale ba kami? Pero ito yung Mr. Larag, ito yung twist doon. Kasi kailangan naming mag-hike with all our gears for about 3 hours dun sa camping spot. And that was probably one of the hardest physical activity na nagawa ko sa buong buhay ko kasi may dala akong 20 kilos, 20 plus kilos sa likod ko. I was quite healthy and fit, pero kahit gano'n na bigat ako. And then we got there. Ang ganda, syempre wild camping. You were enjoying unspoiled. Walang tao, kami lang. O malayo yung next na nagka-camping, as in, ganun lang, hindi mo makita. Katiting lang sila dun sa horizon mo. Pero syempre hindi siya what you would call luxurious or comfortable. It's really back to basics. Enjoying nature. Mahirap matulog, yun ang katotohanan. Mahirap malamig kasi kahit ano yun, May ata kami. Ang lamig-lamig sa
Malamig springtime. Malamig ba?
Ako lang dun sa tent ko. But I can really feel na mahirap matulog, it's a bit, siguro na mamahay ako, pero matagal 3 nights and I barely got some sleep. And then, it's a very, very different, unless I really have to, mas gugustuhin ko siguro yung, hindi pa ako ganun ka magaling mag-camping o ganun ka, I would say, camping enthusiast. I normally, when I do my long walks and my adventures, I always go back to somewhere. Because masarap may shower.
I know. Proper toilet. Proper toilet.
Good food. Pero bilib ako sa, na-enjoy ko doon yung food. Kasi, syempre, iba yung camping food. Yung luluto-luto ka. Actually, that was quite enjoyable for me kasi pagod ka, everything tastes so nice. Kahit hindi ganun ka-nice siguro, but it's so nice.
Ano lutuan nyo, Attorney? Ano lutuan nyo? Butane? Naka-butane? May butane ba kayo?
Yeah.
Butane ba? Or kahoy na? Butane, no? Okay, good. Wow, galing.
So, certain if you're wild camping, be very careful about starting a fire. I think they have regulations about that.
Okay, tama rin.
You have to have the proper cooking vessel, cooking pot. At mas madali. And andun yung stream, kailangan pala malapit ka sa stream para mahugasan mo yung makakuha ka ng tubig. May mga ganun pa na i-filter mo yung tubig mo o ilalagay mo ng mga filtration tablets. So, every little thing about civilization, water, instant food, talagang ma-appreciate mo kung nag-wild camping. Kasi
wild camping kasi yan. Wild kasi, no? Wild camping,
We were 3 hours hike away from, civilization. So, medyo malayo-layo kami sa...
Grabe, no? Grabe in the sense na yung talagang mahirap, di ba? Dahil hindi yung madaling, 3 hours, may mabigat ka pa, no? Pero yun nga, yung kagandahan doon, yung experience mo, no? Yung nandoon kayo. Hindi ko na-experience yan. Yung aking daughter nga, si Sophia, will be celebrating her birthday on the 19th. And she plans on doing some wild camping. Gusto niya mag-wild camping. Alam mo ba yung camping namin tong nakaraan? That was a weekend eh. So, kasi na-book na yun, so we had to go. Maski not feeling well, at least 50-50, no? Alam mo yung dudumi ka, magsi-CR ka. Ang ginagamit na pang takip ng dumi mo, kusot. Alam mo yung kusot? Alam mo yung kusot? Yung sawdust?
Sawdust, that's it. Yeah.
Kunyari, naglagari ka, tapos di ba may mga dust na, di ba, sa kahoy? Ang ginagamit namin sawdust, no? Pagkatapos mong one poop daw, 2 scoops for every poop. No? Pero walang amoy pala, walang amoy. Ang style pala doon sa parang barn, sa farm na, kasi we went to Three Corners Farm yata, yung pangalan niya, sa may, ano pangalan ng lugar na yan? Cornwall, no? Timba ba, attorney? Ang ginagamit na, alam mo yung timba, makakita ka ng timba ng malaki ng pintura. Halimbawa, pintura. Yung pintura ng mga balding malalaki. Yun ang style
Ayan,
na,
ayan,
ayan, yan.
ayan.
Ayan, paano saan nakuha niya yung trick? Saan mo
Yun
nakuha yung
pala
trick?
yun.
Oo, yan ang ginagamit. Yan ang ginamit, no? Yan, yan. Parang ganyan. Akala ko kay Ma'am Sol mo na merong pinapakita sa Ma'am Sol mo.
Oh, may
Okay. Hindi,
pinakita
puso.
na si Tita Sol eh. Si Tita, si Sol eh. Si Sol may pinakitang
Oo.
video. Sabi ko, talaga bang nagwa-wild? Mukhang talagang wild camping sila eh.
Oo nga, oo.
But,
Hindi, umuulan. Ang maganda sana, it would have been 100%. Siguro sabihin na lang natin, 100% in terms of the experience kasi first time namin. So it was kind of thrilling. Pero hindi siya 100% dahil maulan. Yun. Pag-usapan mo yung butane, di ba? Yung nag-ano ka? Nagluluto kayo. Tama naman yun, di ba? Because nga yung mga fire. Ang problema lang doon sa pag windy, hindi mo matakpan eh. Hindi mo alam kung paano mo tatakpan yung lutuan mo eh.
correct.
Di ba?
Correct.
Oo,
Tama.
ang windy. So, ang nangyari, nagluto si Sophia, yung aking daughter, sa loob siya ng tent. Kaso delikado naman baka biglang sa lakas ng hangin.
Yeah.
Oo, muntik nga lumipad. Kasi nag-rely siya doon sa children, sa mga bata, na sila maglalagay ng mga pegs. Yung sa amin, very secure. Yung sa amin ni Sol, very secure. Ganda. Talagang nainggit nga sila eh. Yung kanila, lumulun, ganyan-ganyan dahil sa lakas nga ng hangin. Oo, grabe. Inasa natin. Nung huli, nagpe-peg na lang kami dagdag, no? Pero ang hirap pagka umuulan. I don't know how you could cook with your butane, ganyan, no? Tapos yung mga fire, gawa. But that's good, attorney, no? At least na-experience mo. I'd love to do that. Pero sabay, tama ka. Gusto ko rin yung uuwi ako nang uuwi kang maliligo ka, magsa-shower ka, di ba? Okay lang maglakad ka, okay lang pero babalik ka sa isang base na mamaya makakapag-shower ka na maayos. Mahirap pagka di ba? So ilang araw ka hindi nag-shower? Tatlong araw?
May wipes lang. May wipes lang kami. Tatlong araw din. May wipes lang, tapos may stream. So, ka doon, maghihilamos ka doon sa may stream. So, syempre, maghihilamos ka doon sa baba, pero kukuha ka ng tubig doon sa taas. Huwag naman doon so yun ang natutunan ko doon. You always camp near water. You pick up the water near, you camp near the water and you pick up your drinking water uphill. You wash your dishes, you wash your face downstream, and then kailangan, if may designated wild toilet kayo, malayo sa water source nyo. So may mga ganung mga tips.
Okay.
So that was very educational. And the same po sa inyo. Ganun din problema ata talaga to pag nagwa-wild camp ka eh. Mahangin. Alam mo naman sa Lake District, kahit we're hidden, may rock face. May rock face. So we could get hidden from the wind. But, syempre, medyo, hindi man kami ganun kataas, pero nasa bulubundukin kami. So, nahahanginan kami. So, we had to, may magaling mag-camping sa amin eh. Ready siya, handa siya. So, meron siyang what we call a parang wind wall para sa butane niya. So, nakaganon. Meron siyang parang divider na nagpo-protect. And that would be helpful kung magka-camp ka, even though hindi uulan. Yun nga lang, pag uulan, additional talaga na problema kasi ang hirap, yung may condensation pa yung tent minsan, because of the difference in temperature. At yung gagalaw ka, yun yung sinabi mo na ang hirap gumalaw. ang hirap mag-change ng damit. Ang hirap generally gumalaw. Siguro nung paglabas namin sa after 3 or 4 days, para talaga akong alam mo yun sa Castaway.
Nabalik sa sibilisasyon.
Amazed ako sa running water. Kahit 4 na araw lang ako nawala. Tuwan-tuwa ako sa toilet.
Hindi, totoo yan. Parang pagka nag-intermittent fasting ka and you did 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, yung pagkain mo, parang ninanamnam mo na eh, di ba? Yung pag nagutom ka, di ba? Anything na you lacked for a while, di ba? Parang na-appreciate mo na, uy, di ba? So, yeah, it's good.
It was good. It was a good one. It was a good experience. Hard, good, pero good experience. Something to, andito mo yung mga photos ko. I might share it at some point, but yeah.
pero iniisip ko, attorney, parang hindi yata ako masyadong sold sa wild camping. Parang hirap eh, more of a challenge. Siguro, you can go to a camping place with some amenities, siguro yun na lang, no? Ganun lang.
Yan, may ganun.
Iwa-wild mo, parang hirap eh, di ba? Layo ng lalakarin mo, talagang back to nature ka talaga. Pero yun ang maganda, no? Maganda talaga yun. Kaya lang, parang yun nga, parang wow. Parang yung the thought of it lang. Kasi nga na-experience ko na, no? Parang niisip ko, ay, alam mo ba have you been to Tintagel? Tintagel?
I've heard of it. I don't think I've been to Tintagel. I've heard of Tintagel.
Yung kay King Arthur, yung supposedly castle niya nandoon, yung legend of King Arthur. Sa bundok ng Tintagel. Ayan, Tintagel. Yan, maganda yan sa Tintagel. No? Meron silang camping site pala sa may kabila, sa right across. Ayan, di ba? Yan yung nako, meron kaming kasama, hagdanan na yan, inalalayan ko pa. Ako, may takot ako sa heights. Pero somehow na-conquer ko na, attorney, nawala na eh. Dati takot ako sa heights eh. Meron kami kasama, parang yaya nung nagtaalaga sa mga apo ko, tatawid dyan eh. Ako, talagang kumapit, talagang kasama ko, kailangan hawakan ko dahil hindi siya tumitingin sa babae. Yung kaninang bridge, pakita mo direct. Nakakalula sa iba yan eh. Yung may bridge dyan, sa may, yung bridge na yan, no? Yan yung bridge sa baba. Yan, bridge na yan. Ito sa kaliwa. Hindi, kanina, nasa kaliwa na eh. Yan.
Tintagel Castle.
Oo. Yan. So, you try to, makapunta ka rin. It's a nice place, no? Tintagel Castle. So, pero wala nang castle dyan, no? Kaya lang dyan yung kay King Arthur. Nakakatuwa yan. Kaya lang kung maliit ka, matik na lipa rin si Snooki dahil natuktok yan eh. Kaya kailangan kapit ko kay Snooki dahil maliit eh. Lilipa rin ka rin. Pwede kang lipa rin sa tuktok niyan eh. Sa lakas ng hangin. No? So,
malakas ang hangin. Cute!
Ayan. Photo niya yan. Ayan, photo niya sa Tintagel yan. Ayan. Si Snooki. Spoiled na spoiled. No? Kasi nakakatuwa naman. Nakakatuwa naman may aso attorney. Nakakatuwa si little girl. Oy, teka muna. Ang topic natin for tonight. Ano nga pala topic natin for tonight?
Yes. Kung last week, numbers tayo. Last week, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ngayon naman,
1 to 10, di ba?
1 to 10. Tapos truth or myth. Ngayon naman, glossary of legal terms at alphabetical. A, B, C, D, E, F, G naman. So we will
that will be quite interesting.
A legal term in alphabetical order. 10 lang, hindi naman yung whole alphabet. 10 lang. And then huhulaan niyo po kung totoo yung binigay ko na definition.
Ayan, So may word, tapos kung tugma ba yung definition, kung tama ba yun.
Kung tama ba yung definition.
Sige.
And the alphabet, ABC naman tayo.
Maganda. Pero dire-diretso ba ABC yan? Dire-diretso ba ABC yan?
Diretso.
Okay. Baka kako tumalon ka, baka walang equivalent sa letter. So bawat letter may equivalent word.
10 lang. Hindi naman yung whole alphabet. 10 lang.
10 lang. 10 lang. Ilan ba ang alphabet? 28 yata? 28 ba alphabet? 24? Ilan ba ang alphabet? 24, 28?
27, 28. Yeah.
Ilan bang letters? Direct, ilan bang letters ang alphabet?
Kasama ba yung N?
27 ba? 28? 26?
27 ata, oo.
No, direct.
Yan, hinahanap ni Direct.
26 letters. Okay, ang galing ha. Mabilis tayo. Ayun, so 26 letters. So, ano yan? Out of 26, may 10 letters. So, yung first 10 letters, meron tayong letters na bibigay na word na corresponding sa bawat letter na yan. Okay, attorney, dito na tayo sa ating bragging rights, no? Sige, go. Direct, sige.
Galing. Nakakatawa,
Ayan.
nakakaiyak talaga yung ano ni Direk yung soundtrack.
Yeah. Oo.
Ayan, 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 ayan.
Yeah, si Attorney Lira eh. Si Attorney Lira pag habang Pilipino, mga ganun pa yun, ano?
Ganun ba?
Okay. Ayan, okay.
Right.
Uy, alam mo, first, ano mo, tag dito, very proud nga kami sa inyo dahil ikaw, batang-bata ka, ikaw ang managing partner ng Deo Volente Solicitors. Si Attorney Lira ba, alam mo ba na siya ang first ever na Filipino solicitor sa United Kingdom?
Yes, magaling.
Oo,
Actually,
nauna siya kay
siya.
Kathy.
Yeah.
Nauna siya kay Kathy, pero si Kathy naman, si Kathy, ano ba apelyido ni Kathy? Go? Ano ba apelyido ni Kathy? D, sorry, si D. Si Kathy Diho, na-feature na yata natin sa ano yun, sa ating, hindi ko alam kung sa newspaper or something. But anyway, ano ho siya? Siya ang kakilala ho namin ni attorney. Yun ang kauna-unang Pilipina na barrister yata, no? Pinay na barrister. Tama ba?
Yeah,
Oo, si
that's
Kathy
right.
D. Pero si attorney, ang kauna-unang abogadang solicitor sa Pilipino, no?
Si Attorney
Na may
Lira,
listahan
si
niya
Attorney
tayo, SRA ba, attorney? SRA ba? Nasa SRA ba yun?
Yeah, SRA.
Solicitors, regulatory, ano ba?
Regulations Authority.
Regulation. Regulations. May S. Solicitor, Regulations Authority. Okay, all right. SRA. Ayan. Okay, o sige, sino una natin, attorney?
So, ang feeling ko na una ngayon, si Marian Galicia Paner. Feeling ko lang. Naalala
Marian
ko lang
Galicia
yun.
Paner. Oo, sige, tanongin natin kung meron ng bell. Ito niyang ano. Marian Galicia Paner. Go!
Yes! Tumawa!
Wow!
Yes!
Okay, Marian, mabuhay ka ha.
Bago ang profile picture ni Marian! Well done!
Oh, diba? Wow. Nagmo-model ba? Nagmo-modeling? Nagmo-model eh, no? Oo, galing.
Yeah. Basahin ko na. Mr.
Sige,
Laragan.
go. Attorney.
Hello po, Kuya Sonny and Attorney Dana, Direk Pao, at sa lahat, happy Tuesday po. Magandang gabi po. Stay safe always and stay healthy. God bless. God bless you too, Marian Galicia
Oy,
Paner.
congratulations, Marian, for being the first. Wow naman, talaga. Direct nakita na ba niya yung kanyang sweetheart, yung magpapatibok uli ng puso niya? Kasi naghahanap siya ngayon ng, noong una ayaw na, pero ngayon open na siya direct for love daw. Basta tapat lang magmahal. So open na siya. Kulay pula, paborito niya kulay ha. Talagang red.
Pula.
Red lingerie. Red. Okay. Parang toro, no? Kaya tama-tama may baka siya. No? Di ba? Tama-tama may baka.
Mr. Laragan
May
talaga.
toro. Di ba? Red color, mga bull, eh, no? Sige, attorney. Next. Yan. Parang mabuhay ka, Marian, ha? We love you, ha? Kumbaga, kapamilya na natin to, eh. Pamilya na yan, kapatid, kapamilya, kapuso, lahat na yan dito sa atin. So, mabuhay.
Kinakamusta natin sila. May kamustahan dito, may sharing ng updates ng buhay, ng mga gusto natin mangyari, adventures. Kaya hindi na po tayo kung nga ba yun, hindi na tayo strangers sa isa't isa. Ayan.
Yes.
Second honor.
Sino sa palagay? So tama ka sa una. Out of one. Sige.
Si Oliver Fernandez.
Sa Amerika tayo. Okay, tignan natin.
Amerika naman. Ano tayo sa Amerika?
Galing naman. Wow! Galing naman. 2 of 2. Ayan, sige.
Ayan.
Ano yan, mahaba yan. Sige, attorney, basahin mo.
Good morning, kasi from America po si Oliver Fernandez. Good morning,
siyempre.
Dana, Sunny, and Direk Pao. We are having an overcast morning here in Everett, Washington. This summer has been pretty much bearable for us. I must say that the central air conditioning and air filtration system we had installed works like a dream. Oh wow, may central air conditioning sila. Hay fever, breaking out in sweat at nights, all of them are things of the past. The best part of it is you could even tweak the temperature in the middle of the night using your phone. Yes,
Wow,
I don't
smart.
need to be anywhere near the thermostat
Oo.
to make the adjustments. Eureka now on to our Tuesday learning
Oh,
program.
yes.
Smart home na talaga yung kinayan na tinatawag, no? Smart
Yes,
modern
yes,
home.
yes.
Meron din kayo dyan, Mr. Laragan, kasi yung bahay po ni Mr. Laragan,
Yeah, meron,
napaka-modern.
meron.
Oo, kahit
Meron.
nga yung
Oo.
tap water nyo, pwede kang pumili kung gusto mong mapaso. you can
Ayan,
you can put
may app.
temperature. May
May
app,
app kami,
yeah.
Roint Connect,
Wow.
Roint Lite, Roint Connect. So ayan, pero
Yeah.
alam mo ba, nasa nasa Indiana ako, nagstay ako for a while sa grand aunt ko, kapatid ng lola ko. Parang lola ko na rin, dahil kapatid ng lola ko, younger sister. Alam mo, sa Amerika, the same air conditioning unit is the same in both heater and
As well, yeah.
air conditioner. Oh, parang kotse, di ba dito? Pagka yung same air conditioner ng kotse mo works as a heater, works as an air conditioner. Ganun sa Amerika eh. Pero dito, wala tayong alam dyan dahil wala na. Kayo sa opisina, meron. Of course. May
Meron
opisina sa
kami,
opisina,
meron.
meron pa.
Commercial.
Meron,
Yung
pero
mga
sa
commercial.
mga bahay, wala eh.
Sa bahay.
Bihira.
Commercial
Pero ikaw,
lang.
naka-aircon ka ba dyan? Direct? Attorney, naka-aircon ka ba?
Hindi, wala. Radiator lang kami. Pero may air filtration system ako para sa hay fever. But wala akong aircon.
Okay.
Wala kaming aircon. Ano lang
Okay,
to?
so,
Ano lang yan?
Karamihan niya, karamihan, majority ng mga bahay sa UK, walang aircon. Puro tayo regular, di ba? Pagka, electric fan. Meron ka ba electric fan? Bumili ka rin ng electric fan? Oo, karamihan sa atin, puro electric fan. Di ba? Kaya electric fan dito, parang hindi ko alam kung galing sa China o sa India na pagkapapayat lang, parang ang papayat nila na-assemble lang saglit. Di ba? Yung stand fan. Oh, nakakatuwa lang dito. Uy, naka-2 ka na, attorney, ha? Naka-2 out of 2 ka na. So, 2 of 2. Sige, sana maka-hat trick ka, no? Tignan natin. Sana.
Sino ba?
Oh, that would be great. Naku, ito mahirap, no? May stress ka ba? Stressful.
Stress ako.
Rudy Libro.
Fresh.
Stress mo rin. Tama si Dalo, eh. Paano, no? Rudy Libro. Tingnan natin. Wow! Ma'am Cora! Ma'am Cora! Oo.
Tita Cora Carsola. Ayan, basahin ko na. Ganda ng
Yeah.
ni Tita. Hello, Sir Sonny, Attorney Donna, Direk Paula, Pogi Snooki, and all. Many thanks again sa legal advice being shared to us tonight. Thank you po, Tita Cora. Nako.
Ma'am Cora, mali. Dapat maganda kasi babae si Snooki. Ito, walang malis lang ako. Kung nakwento ko lang. Nung bata nung first mga few months ni Snooki, may ihiyan, di ko napapansin yung wala pa. Minsan pinupunasan ko pa yung kanyang Ngayon na yata dalaga na, parang namagana eh. Like na yung kanyang yung kanyang private part attorney. Noticeable na ngayon. Dati parang nipple lang eh. Parang nipple lang ngayon, parang lumaki na. So sabi ko, okay, talagang nagdadalaga na. Sabi ko, kaya natatakot kami ni Sol, baka maligawan, no?
Maligawan ako, magkakaapo na.
Magkakaapo na,
Tapos dami nila, 8.
Naku, gusto, Ay, tatlo sila. Sana, I don't know, no? Balak din namin siguro, kung magkaanak siya, may dagdag na aso, di ba? Which is quite good. Pero mahaba ang buhay nito. Ayan, si Gigi Elamparo. Elamparo ba? Elamparo.
Oo nga, Elamparo ba? O Elamparo, Gigi?
Sinagot na di ba? Sinagot na yata niya. Elamparo yata. Miss Gigi Elamparo. Elamparo yata. Elamparo. Sige, Gigi, yes. Attorney.
And to the Sonny. Happy Tuesday, all viewers. God bless. God bless you too, Gigi.
God bless din sa'yo.
Edgar Duway! Ayan, we were talking about him kanina eh.
Oh, Edgar, yes.
Super.
Ka-birthday
Magandang
mo ba si
gabi.
Snooki? Tama
Oo
ba?
nga.
Oo, sige, pakibasa attorney muna. Magandang gabi. O, yan. Sige, go.
Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat, Attorney Dicky, Sonny L, and Direct P. Ed, kailan daw birthday mo? Ka-birthday mo ba si Snooki? I think alam ko birthday September, mid-September, or 17 or 18 ba si Ed?
Mid-September. Si Snooki is September 17. Kung hindi ako
17,
nagkakamali, September 17 si Snooki. Pero alam ko, ka-birthday ni Ed. Oh yeah, okay. May, si May, tama. May Tigbao Vargas. Ayan, attorneys, go.
Good evening, Attorney
Oy,
Donna,
sumapunta,
Queen
Exeter.
and to everyone watching the program, happy Tuesday and God bless. Watching from Exeter, Devon, which is near Cornwall, no? Kung saan kayo, katabi ng Cornwall.
Yes,
Exeter.
oo.
Devon.
Ano yata yan? Devon yan. Tama, Devon. Tapos Cornwall yan. Oo, tama. Ang pinaka-demarcation niya, attorney, is sa may, sa Plymouth. Yung pinaka-bridge para may river that separates Devon and Cornwall. So, yeah. Nalaman ko lang doon sa taga-Exeter. Ayan. Egay the guy.
Egay the guy is here. Happy Tuesday to Mr. Laragan, Attorney Donna, and hardworking Direct Pao. And to the viewers still working from Canary Wharf today, looking forward to lots of learning again today. Thanks. Then if you can watch Not Jam with Sonny Laragan at 9 p.m. UK time, Egay the guy, ba pinlag ka pa, oh. Ayan.
Egay the guy, oh. My kind of guy, si Mr. Tip. Truly inspiring person.
Ay,
talagang kailangan yan ang napangasawa mo, talagang kailangan mag-budget kayong mag-asawa talaga. Budgeted kayo. Ay, si Marian Galicia Paner. Wow!
Marian,
galing naman, ha? Talagang
natuwa ata
mabuhay,
na siya ang valedictorian ngayong araw na to.
Oo nga, valedictorian. At sana yung kasi nabanggit mo habang naglalakad kayo, may mga bell yung mga cow. Sinasuggest namin sa kanya maglagay ng bell sa kao niya, di ba? Diba, totoo yung sabi mo, di ba, may napaglakad yung gano'n sa habang yung tinagkatrack kayo, may mga bell yung mga baka. Oo. So, at least may tingalingan.
Naririnig na namin sila eh. Maririnig ko na, layo-layo pa nila. Parang ice cream lang eh.
So, ayan, I think that would be great. Then siguro, si Snooki, malalaman ni Direk, ayan, naglalakad na si Sir Sonny, andyan na si Snooki. Paano mo nalaman? Naririnig ko eh. Anong narinig mo yung bell? May tumutunog eh. Kaya naman nalalagyan ng bell. Kasi baka maapakan mo, huwag walang bell. Lalo ng papi. O diba? Maapakan mo dahil ang late-late niyan. Ang late-late niyan. Kung wala siyang tingin-tingin, alam mo, teka muna, kailangan pag umikot ka, kailangan, kaya gano'n at titignan mo kung naapakan mo. Baka maapakan mo. Diba? Sa liit eh. So, ayan. Direct, tayo? We're going to the topic na? Okay, so let's go into the topic now. Sige. Okay. Sige, ayan. So, congratulations, Mariana. Congratulations din doon sa Ma'am Cora. At least naka third place, no? Pangalawa si Oliver. Oliver, mabuhay. At congratulations sa iyo, aircon, no? Kami, alam mo naman, galing ka sa UK, hindi mo inabot walang aircon dito unless sinadya mo.
Rare din sa aircon.
Rare, bibihira ka makakita ng buti pa si Direk naka-aircon eh. No? Mamaya tatanungin ko siya pag nag-show ng Night Jam, no? Maswerte pa siya kaysa sa atin dito sa UK. No? Okay. So we're gonna have a short break, mga kaibigan, at pagbalik ho namin yung A, B, C, D, E, F, G, yung 10 letra, unang 10 letra, may mga words na iugma siya toward doon. At magkakaroon ho tayo ng truth or myth ulit. Huhulaan natin. Dagdag kaalaman after the break, no? Wag ho kayong alis, saglit po lamang.
Mula doon hanggang ngayon, serbisyong mapagkakatiwalaan, serbisyong maaasahan pagdating sa inyong mga padalang balikbayan boxes. Dito ka na sa Forex Cargo. Sa presyong kayang-kaya ng bulsa, sigurado ka pa sa inyong padala. Forex Cargo. Dahil kailangan makarating. Call 0208-813-7064. O ano pang inaantay niyo mga kabayan? Tayo na sa Forex Cargo.
100% all natural. Tasty. Healthy. Versatile. 4 unique flavors. Taste a real sauce. Galettos.
May problema ka ba sa landlord mo? Baka AV ka na ni Kuya. May problema sa mga kapitbahay, sa trabaho. O kaya naman kay Mister o kay Mrs. Away tungkol sa mala, mga may utang, mga aksidente, daing o laban sa ospital or sa NHS. Harassment? O baka naman may stalker ka na gusto mong ireklamo? Punta na sa DV Solicitors para matulungan ka pagdating sa mga litigations at iba pang mga legal concerns. DV Solicitors at 2nd floor, Howard House, St. John Street, Bedford, MK42 0DJ. Tumawag sa 01234-350-244 or 01234-225-188 o kaya naman mag-email sa d.quinto@dvsolicitors.com. Visit our website at www.dvsolicitors.com.
Mula sa kabisera ng Inglaterra, sa puso ng Britanya, London, UK. London, UK. Ito ang Channel Philippines Network. Pinoy Radio, UK. Pinoy Radio, UK. Sumasahing papawid 24 oras. 24 oras. Buong linggo. Sa www.pinoyradiouk.com. Ang mga pinakapaborito mga awitin, mga pinakaabangang programa, at mga sariwang balita at impormasyon mula at para sa mga kababayang Pilipino sa UK at sa buong mundo. Pinoy Radio UK. Pinoy Radio UK.
Okay, nagbabalik ho ang ating programa, palatuntunan, no? Legal Advice Corner on a Happy Tuesday. So once again, Happy Tuesday ho sa inyong lahat. Welcome ho sa ating programa. Siyempre, kasama natin yung ating pinakamamahal, Brains and Beauty. Walang iba kundi si Attorney DANNA Quinto. Attorney, Happy Tuesday once again.
Happy Tuesday, everyone! Tuloy po kayo. Balik na naman tayo sa ating classroom, sa ating Tuesday classroom. Dahil nagbabalik na naman ang ating Tuesday quiz, which is truth or myth. Mga 8 months na rin tayong nagpapahula
Yes.
ng mga statements. Ang mechanics, very, very simple. Get a piece of paper, resibo man yan, scratch paper, notes nyo sa, or notes
Paper
to
go.
phone. Yeah, exactly.
Ballpen.
No cheating ball pens.
Sige.
And
Walang-
you will guess, or you will make an educated guess kasi nga ano tayo,
Yes.
ano naman tayo, nakikita mo naman na manggagaling na ng mga audience natin. They're getting very, very
Yeah.
high scores these days. And may topic tayo ngayon. So, andun tayo na nasa tema tayo ng glossary of legal terms, but in alphabetical order. So I will give a list 10 words in alphabetical order, and I will give a definition or give a statement about it. Pwede siyang totoo o pwede siyang haka-hakalan. And later on, I will explain why. So without further ado, let's start again. Start the quiz. Ito na naman tayo. Truth or Myth edition. Glossary or ABC of legal terms. Number 1, A. A for adjournment. Adjournment means postponing a court hearing. Is that truth or myth? Adjournment, A for adjournment, meaning ipopostpone ng isang hearing na nakalist na nakaschedule na. Is that truth or myth? Number 2 or letter B. Para tayong nagbibingo lang. Ano? B for bankruptcy order or bankruptcy. A bankruptcy order would also mean a criminal sentencing against you. Totoo ba yan o myth lang? So pag may bankruptcy order daw, meaning yan, merong criminal sentencing din na mangyayari para sa iyo or against you. Totoo ba or myth? Number 3 or letter C. C for consent order. Consent order is a judge-approved order setting out the terms agreed by the parties themselves. So, ang consent order daw isang order na naaprubahan ng judge na ang nilalaman kung ano yung areglo na pag-areglohan ng dalawang partido o ng mga partido. Totoo ba? O myth o haka-haka lang? Number 4. And now on letter D. D for duty of disclosure. Duty of disclosure relates to your duty to make available documents related to the case, but only those that are advantageous to you. Totoo ba? Truth or myth? So, ang duty of disclosure ang inyong which is duty to present those documents, make available those documents na related sa kaso, pero yung mga pabor lang sa iyo. Totoo ba o hindi? Truth or myth? Number 5, letter E. Executor. Executor is someone named in the will who will carry out the directions of the will. So, executor or E for executor is someone na nilagay dun sa will ng isang tao who will have to carry out the directions of the will. If you're just tuning in, nandito po tayo, alphabetical order ng glossary of legal terms are truth or myth. Last week, ang tema is numbers. So now we're moving on to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. And you will have to guess or make an educated guess if it's truth or myth. Letter F na po tayo. F for fee earners. Fee earners are employee of the firms who deliver legal services. So fee earners now, if you hear that term, is a wide connotation for empleyado ng isang legal firm who deliver legal services. Truth or myth? Number 7, letter G. G for grounds. So grounds are the basis or foundation of a legal action. So grounds daw ang tinatawag na basihan o pundasyon ng isang kaso. Totoo ba o hindi? Truth or myth? Number 8, we are now at H. H for hearsay evidence. Hearsay evidence is evidence given in court of something said to the witness by another person. So parang sa atin, sa colloquial term ng Pilipino, hearsay evidence, marites ba yan? Yung sinabi lang, it's an evidence given by this witness. Pero sinabi lang pala sa kanya yung evidence na yon. Is that hearsay evidence? Totoo ba yan? Or haka-haka lang? Myth. Number 9, I for the letter I for intestate. Intestate. A term for inter-counties cases or cases that goes across county level. So intestate is a term for inter-counties cases or cases that goes across county level. Truth or myth? And number 10, letter J, joint liability. So joint liability. It's where two or more people are liable for the same obligation, but they can never be sued individually and must be sued collectively. Totoo ba yan o hindi? That's joint liability. If you've just tuned in, don't worry. I will go through the 10 statements. This is the ABC edition of Glossary of Legal Terms. And you can review your answer as well before tayo mag-exchange of paper and checking of answers. So very, very quickly. A for adjournment. That means now postponing a court hearing. Truth or myth? B for bankruptcy order. Bankruptcy order would also mean a criminal sentencing against you. Truth or myth? C for consent order, which is a judge-approved order setting out the terms agreed by the parties themselves. D for duty of disclosure, which relates to your duty to make available documents related to a case, but only those that are favorable to you. E for executor, someone named in the will who will carry out the directions of the will. F for fee earners, employee of the firms who deliver legal services. G for grounds, the basis or foundation of an action. Truth or myth ba yan? Dito pa rin tayo, you have to still, the reason why I'm stating this is kailangan nyo pong hulaan kung truth or myth yan, and I will explain later kung bakit truth, bakit myth, at kung saan nyo siya normally maririnig yung term na yan. We are at H, hearsay evidence. Evidence given in court of something said to the witness by another person. So that's an evidence na sinasabi ng witness pero narinig niya lang daw, sinabi lang sa kanya. 9, intestate, a term for inter-counties cases or cases that goes across county level. Number 10, joint liability, where two or more people are liable for the same obligation, but they can never be sued individually and must be sued collectively. Truth or myth? Now, exchange papers or check your own. Honesty is the best policy, and we'll share answers later. And then hopefully next time you'll hear this sa Newsman, dito sa Legal Advice Corner, or sa social media, you'll remember, oo nga, no, ito yung glossary of terms last week dun sa Legal Advice Corner, truth or myth. Number 1, adjournment means postponing a court hearing. Yes, that's true, and that is that's the legal technical term that you will see when the court makes an order. So mo siya makikita mo siya sa court order. So if you're in a court action these days, at finorward ng abogado mo yung piece of paper and it says adjourned, the case is adjourned to the first open date after 30th of August 2023. That means na-postpone yung hearing. That's what we call an adjournment. Hindi yan dismiss, hindi pa tapos ang kaso, na reschedule lang, na-postpone yung hearing. Okay? Adjournment, A for adjournment equals postponement. That's true. Number 2, B for bankruptcy order. It would also mean a criminal sentencing against you. That is a myth. So bankruptcy order, saan natin makikita to? Still in civil court. So yung mga county court natin dito sa United Kingdom, they also act as a bankruptcy court. So dun din napaprocess yung mga bankruptcy petition. If someone wants you bankrupt. Bankruptcy relates to individual. If it's against the company, it's called liquidation. So iba yun. That's another term, pero hindi natin na-cover kasi 10 lang yung terms natin ngayon and hanggang J lang tayo. But bankruptcy is only a civil matter. Hindi po yan na parang estafa na makukulong kayo. It's just a civil matter. So that's why it's a myth. It doesn't involve a criminal sentencing. It is a judgment in the civil court. C for consent order, which you may have heard a number of times in this show. Consent order is a judge-approved order setting out the terms agreed by the parties themselves. Truth or myth? of course, that is true. So consent order, you will hear that across all the courts. So civil courts, family courts, you will hear that being used when you're talking about finances. Nag-areglo na kayo kung paano nyo hahatiin yung ari-arian yung mag-asawa after divorce. If during the hearing, nag-agree din kayo using the previous term, mag-adjourn. Sabihin nyo, may sakit yung isang may COVID or hindi available yung isang witness. Can we adjourn? Can we have an adjournment by consent? So the operative word is a consent. So a consent order is really anything that between you guys, between the parties, you have agreed and you tell the judge, please, can you approve this? When the judge approves that, it becomes a consent order. And it's very, very clear on that paper. Upon the parties agreeing the terms below by consent, the judge orders as follows. Because ultimately, judge pa rin na mag-a-aproba ng kahit nag-agree na kayo, nag-areglo na kayo, if you are under the remit, the jurisdiction of the judiciary of the United Kingdom. What does that mean? Nag-umpisa na kayo ng kaso. So kung may gusto kayong gawin, kailangan pa rin aprubahan ng judge. So kung gusto niyo i-move yung hearing or kung gusto niyo mag-areglo, mag-settle, that would need to be approved. But that is called a consent order. So you will hear that civil, kung nag-settle kayo ng bayaran ng utang, for example, and you say, okay, sige, bibigyan kita ng discount. That's a consent order kung tatapusin nyo na yon. The same with finances sa divorce, the same then. Consent order then ang tawag doon. Okay, so true. Number 3 is true. Number 4, duty of disclosure. Pakinggan nyo po mabuti. Relates to your duty to make available documents related to a case, but only those that are advantageous to you. Truth or myth? That is a myth, and the reason is duty of disclosure. I will say kung ano yung totoo dun sa sentence na yon. Relates to your duty to make available documents related to the case. Totoo yan. But only those that are advantageous to you, that is a myth. Duty of disclosure is absolute. It is full and frank disclosure. So both in civil and family cases, when you say, well, what's my duty of disclosure? It's everything that relates to the case, whether in your favor or not in your favor. So at some point in the proceedings, both in civil and family court, you will be required by the court to produce a list of documents in civil or in financial, in divorce, they will ask you to produce it quite early on via filling a form, yung mga financial disclosures nyo. But one thing remains consistent, it has to be lahat ng dokumento. So bawal magtago ng dokumento na hindi advantageous sa iyo. So duty of disclosure is full and frank. That's the reason why that statement is a myth. Dahil that statement says na, yung ano lang, yung nakakabuti lang sa atin ang ibigay natin as duty of disclosure. No. So 4 is a myth. Number 5, letter E, executor. Executor is someone named in the will who will carry out the directions of the will. Truth or myth? Of course, that is true. Again, it's a term that we've used in this legal advice corner. Saan mo makikita yan? Makikita mo parate sa will. You will see that when you read a will. When you're asking someone to draft a will for you, they will say, who do you want to be the executor? Sino yung mapagkakatiwalaan mo na magka-carry out ng wishes mo sa will? So you can appoint someone. Sometimes they will have professional executors, like lawyers. They will say, well, I want my lawyer to do this. And I want, normally 2 executors. So I want this person or this other professional contact. So 5 is truth. Number 6, fee earners. F for fee earners are employees of the firm who deliver legal services. That is true. That is a wider term. So many lawyers obviously deliver legal terms. But fee earners would also would be a wider term kasi pwede ding yung mga paralegal who's not yet fully qualified, and sometimes conveyancing executives who's not necessarily falling under the definition of a solicitor or a lawyer. They can still deliver legal services, depende sa kung ano yung allowed sila, and they can charge for their time. Saan mo makikita tong term na to na fee earner na to? Makikita mo po yan sa inyong client care letter or yung terms of engagement. Makikita mo po kung ano yung rate ng mga fee earner. Lawyer is this per hour, or a solicitor is this per hour. Depende minsan sa seniority din. Makikita mo, a solicitor with PQE, which is post-qualified experience of 5 years above, post-qualified experience of 3 years, ganito yung hourly rate. A paralegal who will work on your case, probably on just on other matters, will carry out the work at this hourly rate. So that's where you will get, you will see this fee earner mention. You will also see as conveyancing as well when you know, most of the time when you look at, as I've said, yung terms of engagement, kung sino yung fee earner sa kaso mo, at ano yung kanilang mga role and responsibility. So don't worry, ano ba yung fee earner, ano yung meaning na yan? So wider term, kung ano yung team, who comprises your legal team. That's probably the best way to imagine it. And that is true. So I've said 6 is true. Number 7, G for grounds. The basis or foundation of a legal action. That is true. And that is, again, a legal term that they use, the grounds of appeal or the grounds of this argument. What are the grounds of your application? What are the grounds of your position? Why are you taking that position? It's a very common legal term that we use. Grounds, minsan, di ba sa normal conversation, grounds is like lupa, the grounds, the field. In legal term, it is really your submission. It could be your submission, your basis, the legal basis of your claim. Where do you see this? You will see this in documents. You will see this in court forms. Court forms might ask it. What are the grounds of your application? You will see it in your lawyer's submissions. You will see it in your lawyer's position statement as well. So makikita mo yun. So pag nakita mo yan, okay, ito pala yung basis. Ito pala yung pinaglalaban namin at bakit namin pinaglalaban. Okay? So 7 is true. Number 8, hearsay evidence. Evidence given in court of something said to the witness by another person. That is true. So, my analogy is parang marites lang, or not necessarily gossip in that term, but it was only so. For example, how does it work? Hearsay evidence is, for example, I'm giving evidence to the court that somebody like Mr. Laragan said to me that Direk Pola is currently in, for example, nasa Spain daw si Direk Pola. So I don't actually know. I've not seen Direk na nasa Spain. I didn't see it with my own eyes. I've not spoken with Direk Pao with my own eyes. Ang nagsabi lang sa akin is si Mr. Laragan. So that is hearsay evidence. Sinabi lang ng someone else. What's the weight? Ano ba yan? Uncommon na tanong ng mga kliyente. Pwede ba yan? Ano bang gagawin ng judge? Ang paniniwalaan ba yan? It depends. I think it is up to the judge to attach weight to it. Depende siguro when they read the entirety of the evidence, the entire picture, the tapestry of the evidence, as we call it. Kung nag-fit ba siya dun sa picture na pinapresent ng this party or the other party. So it's up to the judge how much weight is given there. There are certain technical points about hearsay evidence. We won't talk about it, but at the moment, glossary of terms lang, hearsay evidence, yes, it is possible it's evidence given in court of something said to the witness. Sinabi lang sa akin by another person. Sinabi ni Mr. Laragan, nakita ko si Direk Pao sa Spain. That would be considered hearsay evidence. Number 9, intestate. A term for inter-countess cases or cases that goes across county level. That is myth. Gawa-gawa ko lang po yan. Ang intestate is wherein an individual dies without leaving a will, which comes from a term called intestacy. And that's the same, I think that's the same term that's used in other jurisdictions. The same din po sa Pilipinas. Number 10, letter J for joint liability, where two or more people are liable for the same obligation, but they can never be sued individually and must be sued collectively. That is a myth. We've heard this joint liability in contracts, tenancy agreements most of the time. So yes, contractual setting. Why is it a myth? Totoo na it involves two or more people being liable for the same obligation, but hindi po totoo na they can never be sued individually. Actually, it is up to the claimant. If they want to sue individually, individual lang who has the deepest pocket, or they want to sue everyone. But the fact remains that it can be enforced, that liability can be enforced kahit against dun lang sa isang tao. Kay Juan lang, hindi kay Maria. It doesn't have to be Juan and Maria. Depende lang kung ano yung gusto ng naghahabol. So yes, that's it. I will again list, anuhin ko lang kung ano. Number 1 is true. Second is myth or false. 3 is true. 4 is false or myth. 5 is true. 6 is true. 7 is true. 8 is true. 9 is false or myth. And 10 is myth or false. So, Mr. Laragan, what's your score? Ano ang ating
Nako,
perfect.
8 out of 10 ako. Ang mali ko yung fee earners at saka yung joint liability. Ayan.
Yung joint liability, yeah.
Oo, fee earners and joint liability. Yan ako. Ayan. Sa ano pala, no? Joint liability, ang tawag dito, yung, sabi mo nga, pwedeng individual, no? Kung sino yung mas mataas ang, sino ang mas may pera, mas deep ang pocket. Ganun din sa torts and damages. When I took up law in the Philippines, ang hinahabol mo, hindi yung driver na nakabangga o nakaano, kundi yung may-ari ng, kunyari, kung driver ng, yung may-ari ba ng kumpanya, ganyan. Kasi yun na may pera, hindi yung driver, no? So, ayan. Okay, sige. Teka muna, sino pa? Wow! 7 out of 10. Okay. 6, sa fee earners. Attorney, doon kami sa fee earners at saka sa joint liability. So, pareho kami. Oo. Sige, sino pa ba ang ano dyan? Tingnan natin, si Drek kaya, ano kaya nahulaan ni Drek? Oo. Kasi fee earners at saka joint liability. Kami medyo umano.
At least, di ba? May mga natutunan tayo ngayon.
Yes. So, lalong nagkaroon ng confirmation kasi sabi nga nila yung mga mistakes you shouldn't be afraid of mistakes in life itself, no? Yung mga ginagawa, when you try something out, huwag ka matakot, kung gawin niya, baka magkamali ako eh. Yun nga maganda eh. Kasi pag nagkamali ka, alam mo na gawin kung ano yung tama na, di ba? You can avoid the wrong na, di ba? So, at least, tsaka mas mag-stick sa mind mo. Okay, yun. 2 and 9. Bankruptcy at saka intestate. Ayan. Si Ma'am Cora. Wow. At 2-8. Ayun, galing, Ma'am Cora, no? Galing. Paki-flash mo nga lang, direct yung kay Ma'am Cora para hindi ko na, anong numbers yung kay Ma'am Cora ulit? Tignan nga natin yung numbers na, niya. Ayan. Ang mali ko, 2 and 9. 2 and 9, bankruptcy and intestate. Ayun, okay. Alright. So, good. At least, di ba, nagkakatuwa tayo. Nagkakatuwa tayo na meron tayong little game. Although mahaba pa, di ba, yung sabi mo, ano pa kanina, nung pinag-uusapan yung bankruptcy, individual, di ba, bankruptcy, pag individual yata, tapos yung may liquidation ka pa sinasabi, pag kumpanya.
Pag kumpanya. Papatuloy na sa second half next week.
Nasa Yeah. Basta pakibasa, attorney, si Edgar pala na, medyo na-late doon sa klase.
Na-late sa klase si Ed, band practice sa music department. Alam mo, nung high school, pag nagle-late ka sa klase, dapat mag-ano ka ng excuse letter o kaya yung magsusulat ka dun sa mga policy. I promise never to be late again next time. Diba? Ganun sa Pilipinas.
Ganun kami sa Notre. Pati yung naalala ko yan, excuse letter, kung ano-anong mga ginagawa namin nung high school. Yeah, tama yan, sa Notre. Ed, napakinggan mo ba kanina, tinatanong ko yung birthday mo kasi birthday next month ni Snooki. No, alam ko magka-birthday kayo. Magka-edad. Yeah, magka-birthday kayo. Oo, September. Tama ba yan? September 17? 17 kasi ang birthday ni Snooki. September 17. Oo. So ayan, maganda tong ano, tong hindi kaya pala hindi nakasabit ng ng kanyang test papers si Edgar. So, maganda to. Very interesting attorney ayan ang aking score ayan. I mean, wala pang score pero dalawa yan, fee earners at saka joint liability. Ayan. So, mabuhay. Thank you very much for this. Nako. Marami tayong natutunan for today. Ayun, additional dagdag kaalaman mula kay attorney. So, we want to thank you for this.
September 7, naririnig ko siya. Yung bell, naririnig ko.
Narinig mo, may parang jingling. Nadidinig naman, direct ko. Nadidinig. Oo.
Naririnig ko.
Alam mo yan kung ano yan, kung saan kasi yan. Nako. Nagkaroon ng ligaya yung buhay namin, magulo Meron kaming additional character. Si Tingaling, ching. Kaya yung baka, tama nyo yung baka, dahil sabi mo, di ba, when you went around Mont Blanc, may nadadaanan kayo siguro farm or basta along the way, may mga baka, pero meron silang bell. Di ba? Hindi ko alam kung sa Pilipinas may bell ang mga baka o mahal ang bell o hindi ko alam kung ano. Di ba? So, ayan, sa Pilipinas yan. September 17 ang birthday ni Edgar. So, confirmed. Pareho sila ng birthday ni Snooki. Happy birthday kayong dalawa.
Nagka-birthday pa sila
Yeah, ano ba? Teka muna. Attorney, yung hearsay evidence ba? Meron bang hearsay? Ang hearsay evidence, hindi yan, wala yan. Hindi naman tinatanggap yan. Parang ano lang yan, di ba? That's hearsay, ganon. So,
no, depende sa criminal. We're talking about civil courts here. We're talking about
civil courts
and criminal courts. So, mas medyo medyo hindi ganun ka-strict sa civil courts. But it's up to the judge. Sabi ko nga, it's up to the judge to attach weight to it. Kasi pag tugmain naman ng judge lahat ng ebidensya minsan naman hindi lang karamihan naman ng pagkakataon hindi lang yun yung ebidensya, and you wouldn't wanna hang your case sa hearsay evidence lang kasi hindi nga verifiable, di ba? Hindi ganun kalakas. But sometimes kung nagtatagpi-tagpi ka at nakikita naman na ang daming nagsabi na ganito ang nangyari, may mga situation na I had a case before. Syempre, it's about inheritance provision for dependent. And sabi niya, ang claim doon, nakiklaim yung kapatid dahil dependent daw siya ng kuya niya bago namatay. Syempre, wala na yung kuya. Hindi na makakapagbigay ng ebidensya yung kuya. Nagbibigay lang yung kapatid, nagbigay ng ebidensya yung kapatid, and yung mga kamag-anak na minsan either yung direct evidence yun, kung nakita nila nagbigay. I think a couple of times may nakita, nakita ko nagbigay. May iba naman na nagbigay ng almost hearsay evidence. may nasabi lang si ganito na ang kuya niya yung nagbibigay sa akin. So it depends on the situation. Minsan may value naman siya, although hindi ganun kalaki yung value, forensic values or evidential value as we call it. May nag-a-attach ng evidential weight or evidential value dan. Although hindi siya as you would know, hindi din siya ganun hindi siyang first preference and hindi siya ganun ka-tibay na ebidensya.
Sabi mo, iba yung parang sa civil cases, attorney? Kasi sa criminal cases, hearsay, hindi tinatanggap yun, di ba? So sa
I'm
civil,
not so sure. I'm not a criminal lawyer. I don't know ang PACE,
okay.
ang kanilang burden of proof. It's been a few years since I had a good look at the criminal procedure rules. So I can only really speak for civil, my area of law. Sometimes we would insert one sentence na hearsay sentence just to complete the facts. It doesn't really mean na hindi na siya sasabihin, hindi na completely wala siya. As I've said, hindi naman hindi ganun ka strict in terms sa rules ng hearsay evidence sa civil.
May hearsay evidence, yung bang circumstantial evidence applicable din ba sa civil cases?
We
Or is it not,
I mean there are we don't really call it circumstantial. Although yeah, we will probably anecdotally sasabihin namin, oh, it's just circumstantial, or
Anecdotally,
it's just
anecdotally, you know.
we don't have a particular term for it. We just call it evidence at the end of the day. Apart from okay, this is the statement of our client.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it relates to money, or it relates to sometimes it relates to an event. That's the setting ng civil setting, diba? So when we talk about circumstantial, ang sa civil kasi karamihan andyan pa yung mga partido, apart from dun yung isa dun sa mga sinasabi ko na wala na yung probate cases, may namatay kaya may hindi makapagbigay ng evidence, and that's when probably when you say circumstantial or anecdotal na lang yung nabibigay. At the end of the day, in civil cases, ang tatandaan nyo po, ang compared sa criminal cases, yung burden of yung burden of proof and yung certain ang burden of proof and the onus of who's going to prove it. So if you're the one claiming, ikaw ang kailangan mag-prove. Pero sa civil, 51% lang compared sa criminal, which is 100% na kailangan mong i-prove. So sa civil, it's just most likely than not. Hindi kailangan na alamin ng korte talaga na absolutely without reasonable doubt. So that would have, in some ways, that's the reason why we are able to present a wider range where minsan nagtatagpi-tagpi kami ng ebidensya. However, as well, analytically lang, karamihan ng pinag-aawayan namin, andun pa rin yung mga participants, andun pa rin yung mga partido. They were able to give evidence in court. The lawyers can cross-examine them. The judge can look at kung ano nangyari. Although sa criminal court, the same pa din, but the heavier cases in criminal court, diba, may namatay o may nano. So yun lang yung analysis ko doon. There's an impact dun sa burden of proof dahil mataas nga ang burden of proof ng crime. Sa civil, pwede makapasa ka lang ng 51%, okay na. So, hence the reason why we've got all of this wider evidence coming in.
Diyan pumapasok yung beyond reasonable doubt, mga ganyan, no? Kasi pwedeng
criminal,
circumstantial.
That's criminal.
Sa criminal yun.
Criminal.
Sa criminal. Yeah, exactly.
Criminal reasonable doubt. Ang wording naman namin sa civil, what you will hear in civil cases, which is both more likely than not. That's what
right.
51% means. It is more likely than not that this is what happened. It is most likely or most likely than not or more likely than not. The probabilities are, on balance of evidence. Yun ang maririnig mo parate. If you're a law student, you will read that in judgment. On balance of evidence, I find that it is more likely than not that the presentation of the claimant is accurate, is congruent to the evidence presented to me. So yun ang normal na sinasabi. Rather than, it's beyond reasonable doubt that I find you guilty. The court would probably find what we call a factual finding. Magfa-factual finding muna yung korte. Sasabihin ng korte, ito yung ina-accept ko na nangyari. Sa pananaw ko, ito yung nangyari sa buhay nyo, sa kontrata nyo, ito yung nangyari, ito yung pinag-usapan nyo. And then from there on, they will apply the law. They will apply their interpretation of the law. And then they will make a judgment. Ano na yung mangyayari ngayon? Ano yung damages na ibibigay ng korte, award ng korte, o ano yung sasabihin nila na inutang ni ganito kay ganito. So iba yung sequencing ng judgment. Hindi yung you're guilty, I will sentence you to X years. So iba sa civil.
Meron ka trick question number 9, yung interstate, no? Parang kasi sa Amerika, interstate. Kunyari, halimbawa,
Binulong ko lang kayo.
may mga trick question. Oh.
Ginala ko
May,
lang
may,
kaya kasi naalala ko si interstate din ng America.
which is cute, which is cute, attorney, tama rin naman yun, di ba? May ganun naman din sa ano, sa ganun din naman sa ano, sa Life in the UK test, may mga trick questions eh. Patingin naman din sa driving test eh, di ba? May mga trick questions. Trick, no? Mapunta na ako sa letter B. Halimbawa, B, for example, ang tag dito, best, meron pa ba, kasi nandidinig natin, best interest of the child, yun, sa mga cases na, di ba, sa mga custody. Sabi mo, best interest of the child. Meron pa bang ibang best interest of something in civil courts? Sa mga patient, best interest of the patient, which is will up to the best interest of the child. Saan pa ginagamit yung best interest of, attorney? Yung phrase na yun. Kasi sa mga custody, pinag-uusapan natin, sinasabi mo, what is the best in the best interest of the child? Ganyan. Diba? So, dito nalalaman natin hindi yung pag nanay ka, automatic, hindi ka mukha sa Pilipinas. Pagka nagkaroon ng hiwalayan, nanay ka, hindi, dito hindi, kung sino. Di ba? Kung sino tamang pwedeng anuhan eh. Sino mas fit doon sa dalawang parents, no? So, best interest of, meron pa bang iba na dapat tayong malaman pa? So, best interest of the child, ano pa mga best interest of what? Of the parties?
The best interest of the client. So when
The client.
lawyers, the duty of care of the lawyers, and this is actually expressly noted in our code of conduct, our professional code of conduct, is to act in the best interest of our client. So, for example, if we are looking at kung nagampanan ba ng abogado yung ano niya, although iba yung yung professional negligence, iba din naman yung breach of duty of care, but that's where you will find the best interest of the client term. So it's in the professional standard, the professional code of conduct of lawyers as per the solicitor's regulation authority. Meron din naman na best endeavors clause, so gawin mo yung best mo. That's in contracts. You can see that versus reasonable endeavors clause. But you'll get into the technicality, yung interpretation ng law. Ano ba yung best endeavors versus reasonable endeavors? But that's where you will see the wording ng best. Pero iba yung connotation nun sa contract, iba yung connotation ng best interest sa family law. And then slightly different, or siguro the same, in a similar vein, in a similar plane, andun din yung best interest of the client in the connotation of the professional responsibility of lawyer to their clients.
Kanina, attorney, talking about that, yung best interest of the client. Ngayon, habang yung nagpa-final words ka kanina, na parang sinasabi mo na, ito, kung ano yung based on the evidence presented, ito yung judge, ba? Yan ang sinasabi mo kanina, parang ganyan. Tapos parang i-weigh niya, and then pagkatapos may judgment siya based on the ano. Ang abogado ba, malaking bagay ba? Kasi would a presentation of a side, kasi minsan, di ba, para sa mga criminal law, iniisip natin, bay, kung tipong mahina pala ang abogado ko, hindi maragaling yung pagkaka-defense sa akin. Maski in the real story, although walang nakakaalam ng story, hindi alam ng judge, hindi rin siguro alam ng dalawang abogado talaga yung tunay na nangyari, unless siyempre nagtatanong. Pero yung, let's just say, yung talagang tunay na nangyari, hindi alam ng judge at hindi rin alam masyado nung, kung depende ko ano sinabi ng mga, ng mga both clients on both parties, no? Ano ba tawag doon? Yung plaintiff and defendant, no? Nasa abogado rin ba? Yung pagdating sa kaso, malaking bagay din abogado rin na to be able to work on your case. Ganun. Meron kasing parang, I don't know kung sa civil case, no? Pero sa criminal case, siguro kung mahusay ang abogado, kaya nga kumukuha sila ng kampanilya eh. Dahil para maski guilty yung party, para mahusay yung or to lessen the di ba, yung punishment, no? Is a lawyer crucial din talaga, attorney? Yung lawyers of either part.
I think
sa inyo, sa civil case.
Yeah, I think the same. It's very, very much the same. Kasi, I don't know, very different ang practice dito sa United Kingdom. From what I think so. I don't know, it's personal opinion. I think lawyers have a duty when we say best interest of the client. That's the reason why you have to strength test the evidence from the start, from the get-go, whether you're a civil lawyer or a criminal lawyer. If you know na mahina ang kaso ng 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 kliyente mo, you'll have to advise them accordingly. Because if we know that really this is not gonna, the judge will not, it's unlikely that the judge will side with you. So sa criminal case, if you have defended your case unreasonably, mas pwede pang mas pwede pang maging serious ang sentencing mo. On the other hand, if you plea quickly, guilty kung guilty ka nga, or mahina ang ebidensya mo, but if you plead guilty, you can have mitigating circumstance that you plead guilty, you were quite quick, you didn't misuse the resources of the court. So part of doing our job, even in the civil court, it's similar, it's the same thing. If you look at the case and you know for a fact that a judge will weigh the evidence from what your client says, akin na lahat ng ebidensya, you will lose. If it's so clear that you will lose, why would you take your client's money and then let them lose along the way? Syempre, may mga instances it's not so clear. So that's in the middle. If it's so clear that it's an unwinnable case, a part of your acting in your client's best interest is telling them that it is not in your best interest to test this in trial given what you told me so far. Because if I know that on the balance of evidence that you are unlikely to win, it's my job to tell you that. That's where the expertise comes in. If I think, okay, we can probably argue some grounds, we're going to use some of the glossary terms, in order to solve the problem, which is either you're being sued now and you need to settle this, or we think that you may have tactically an advantage. We're not quite sure if you're beyond 51%, but we want to try. Then also, that's when the skills would come in play, because at the end of the day, there's the legal and then the practical side of things. May strategy then how you get to the solution. And sometimes it's not necessarily going to trial. So a lot of the value added by the lawyer is really on problem solving. How do we solve this problem as cheaply, as efficiently as possible? Would we have to go to trial? Do we need to go to trial? Do we like to go to trial? Perhaps not. Do we want to risk going to trial? Can we risk going to trial? Or would it be better, and most of the time the answer is yes, would it be better to see if we can reposture the other side so we can get to an earlier conclusion, whether by settlement, whether by withdrawing the case, whether putting forward a huge case na mas na-overwhelm sila sa ebidensya na bibigay mo. So that's really when the value of getting a lawyer comes in, either kung claimant ka man o defendant, whether in civil or in criminal law. And it's not the client who's dictating you, and it shouldn't be. It's not the client who's dictating you what to do. At the end of the day, you're the one who studied law. You're the one who knows how the case will appear in front of a judge. Sometimes hindi mo rin alam. There's a factor what we call the litigation risk. Kasi it depends on the interpretation of the judge. So you will say kung ganon, we don't know. This is one of those cases where we know. But there are cases where absolutely so clear it's unwinnable. Or it's so clear na hindi practical na ilaban. Or it's clear as well na may better na solution. That's when the lawyer comes in. That's when, the ability to negotiate, the ability to say, do you know what, you may have, if you find this evidence that may win you. And sometimes hindi nila alam, may ganun palang ebidensya na pwedeng makuha. So that's where the value of the lawyer, because yes, judges can be persuaded, but you will be surprised how many out of all of the percentage of cases, especially in civil cases, kung ano lang ang nagpo-proceed talaga sa trial because of the cost, because of the risk. So when lawyers look at it, the lawyers say, well, okay, we have a problem. How can we solve it? How can we fix it without spending too much money or without taking too much risk?
Ayan. Well, valuable ka, attorney. And, you do service to Filipinos.
100,000 na tama pagkasa dito.
Valuable ka kasi Pinay ka. And you can relate to Filipinos. Of course, you represent even yung mga non-Filipino. Siyempre, your firm is international, your firm is British, so you serve everybody. Pero talking of value sa mga Pinoy, siyempre, pagka meron kayong kaso and mas mabuti pagka Pinay, no? Attorney, sige, baka may gusto ka pa dagdag sa discuss natin, at siyempre, how can they find out yung value, no? Paano ka ba makakontak kung sa kasakaling biglang kailangan ng abogado? Gusto mo medyo ini-stock ako ni Mr. Ganyan o whatever, no? O kaaway ko yung kapitbahay ko. Anyway, go ahead, attorney. Paano ka ba makakontak?
You can
And then
contact
tsaka mga
me
shoutout. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, you can contact me at danna.quinto@dbsolicitors.com or call me at 01234-225-188. Again, it's danna.quinto@dbsolicitors.com or call me at 01234-225-188. And shout out, siguro I'll show you kasi ito yung kinikwento ko sa inyo. Birthday ng lola ko ngayon, yung lola ko na patay na po si Lola Karing ko. I call her nanay kasi lumaki ako na nakasama po siya sa bahay. So, she was paralyzed.
Si Lola Karing. Lola Karing, no?
Si Lola Karing. Pero nanay tawag ko sa kanya. And she looked after me. She helped look after me kahit nasa wheelchair siya. So, Lola's girl ako growing up. At bago ako pumunta sa UK, sabi niya, malamig dyan ah. So, binigyan niya ako ng malong. Alam mo naman sa Mindanao, di ba uso yung mga malong? And so, I think I shared it na, nung namatay siya,
tumatakbo
tumatakbo ako, and dala-dala ko yung piece. So, sa malong na yon, syempre, hindi ko madala yung lahat kasi, di ba, habang tumatakbo. So, I would just bring a piece of that malong. Pero,
ginupitan mo?
Pero,
okay.
Ginupitan ko. Pero, I also used it as sort of like a framed art. So, that's the malong that my lola gave me. Kasi hindi ko na nga, naman siya, mas gusto ko siyang tingnan every day. Kasi kung nakalagay lang siya at So, yun yung huling binigay niya sa akin bago siya namatay. It reminds me of home. It reminds me of
Folded yan? Attorney, folded yan? Folded yan? Naka-fold yan?
No, ano lang yan, piece. Isa sa square niya or rectangle ata. Rectangle, dito square.
Sandali, direct, magsa-side lang ako. Sige. May malong ka, attorney, diba? Sa malong ni Lola. Si Lola Karing.
Yeah, si Lola Karing ko. So, yeah, she's
ito meron din ako. Ang ganda, may mata, no? Parang meron din ako.
Ano ka din? Ayan. So, I love
si Lola mo, good, ha? Si Lola. So yan, before umalis ka, yan ang binigay sa'yo ni Lola?
Binigay sa akin, bago ako pumunta ng UK. So, hindi ko siya, yung huling pagkikita namin, so that was all. Malamig daw, yun ang sabi niya. So, huling pagkikita namin, yung huling conversation namin. Kasi personal niya po na malong yon. So, this was very, very special. Yeah. Personal niya na malong.
Wow.
And kada punta ko kahit saan ako pumunta, kasi nga, siya, di ba, hindi siya nakalakad for the last 20 plus years, 25 years ng buhay niya. Na meningitis siya and na-paralyze siya. So, I would bring her symbolically. So, pag nagmamarathon ako, namumundok ako, yung piece, ginupit ko nga para portable. Naggupit ako kasi malaki yung malong. So, a piece of it went to the frame, dito sa asok ako. And then a little piece, I would bring everywhere with me. So, nasa bag ko. And especially if I go to the mountain. So, parang good luck charm ko siya parate. That she's there with me. At parang feeling ko din parang maikot ko siya, mapuntahan niya yung mga hindi niya napuntahan o hindi niya kayang kasi hindi nga siya makalakad eh. But very, very, I'm very close. I was very close with her.
Ano ba, birthday ba niya ngayon o hindi naman?
Birthday niya ngayon.
8th of August? August 8?
August, yeah.
Wow, okay. Well, it's nice to, well. Birthday, marami rin birthday. Well, birthday din ng father ko nga, atres, no? My dad, so, although lumaki ako sa lola ko. So, at least, nakakatuwa yung mga lola, laking lola tayo. Iwanan ako sa lola ng dad ko, eh. So,
Birthday ng mom ko ng 5th. So, happy birthday din sa
happy
mom ko. But
birthday,
birthday
Mami.
din ng puro August sila. Birthday ng lola ko 8.
oh,
And then yung nanay din ng best friend ko birthday, I think in a couple of weeks time.
Wow.
Mga Leo, di ba? Mga Leo sila lahat.
kilala mo ba si August Mateo? Di ba kilala mo ba?
Opo, si August.
Oh, si August.
Siyempre,
Birthday niya ng August 2. August 2. Father ko ng August 3. Mother mo ng August 5. Tama ba?
And then today, August 8.
And then yung lola mo, si Lola Claring, Nanay Claring. Ano ba, habi ko? Karing. Nanay,
Pero ang full name niya,
Caridad.
Caridad. Talagang
Ayan. Well, happy birthday sa ating mga loved ones na nasa langit at mga nasa loved ones natin dito. Yung aking daughter is celebrating her birthday on the 19th. Yung, birthday ni Manuel Luis Quezon. Kaya ang pangalan niya, Sofia Luis Laragan. So, yeah. Attorney, thank you very much once again. It's been a very wonderful night. And thank you for bigla mo pinalambot yung puso namin doon sa alaala ng mga lola nating nagdaan, di ba? Yung ating lola, mga lola, si Lola Inocencia ko. Si Lola, Pasing naman lola ko, Pasing. Sa'yo, Karing, di ba? Pasing kasi.
Karing,
Lola Pasing, no? Pero Inocencia ang pangalan. Si Direk, kaya paano kaya lola ni Direk? Siguro next time, no? Okay, I guess it's time for us to say goodbye, no? Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat, no? Sa ngalan, no, ni Attorney Danna Quinto, ni Direk Pao, ito po si Sonny Laragan nagsasabing thank you very much sa inyong walang sawang pagsubaybay dito po sa Legal Advice Corner. So let's do it again next Tuesday for another Happy Tuesday. Till then, take care, God bless, and good night. Bye-bye. Bye.
Wait.